Hey, this is Brian Armstrong from Pullman, Washington, and you are listening to Married to the Games.
Oh, yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 9 to 5s, but we are still married to the games. 087. How are you guys doing out there? It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router and Timothy Hall, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. We are so happy that you guys are here.
In the middle of the night.
It's the evening. It's an evening edition of Married to the Games.
This is my favorite time of day.
It's so awesome to hear.
We can tell. Like Gabe sounds like he's
Gabe
10 years younger.
Yeah, Gabe's like running track. He's on a treadmill. It's like, hey guys, let's go. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm feeling good. I got the glorious text from Hall last night that said, I've got work in the morning. Can you guys do the podcast tomorrow night? I was like, not just yeah, but oh yeah. And so here we are.
Well, I didn't know I was asking for a middle of the night podcast.
That's right.
So
he thought he was going to get like a 9:30 podcast. It's 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking 9:30. I was like, maybe about 8.
Sorry.
It's my golden hour. It is way past Hall's bedtime. This is when we just get it cranked up at the Patillo household. Amara usually goes to sleep around between 10:15 and now.
I just put Piper to bed now.
And I know Piper probably just went to bed. And so for the Routers and the Patillos, we are just getting it cranked up.
We're jacking
We're like
up.
Turned down for what?
That's right.
If you know what I'm saying. So we are here and alive and well. And Hall, it's your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
In like an
while
hour.
we're doing this podcast, it's going to turn into your birthday.
That's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
I love that.
How's your week been?
Well, last night was really funny because I tried to call Gabe. Then about 45 minutes later, when I'm resting my eyes, I get a call from Gabe. He's like,
Sorry.
"What up, doggy?" And I'm like, "What?"
You like the covers is what's up.
The back of my eyelids, Jack. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that. I thought you had just called. I didn't look at the time. I just called you right back.
I think it was literally like 45 minutes later because I hear my phone going off. And Krista was like, "Who is that?"
Sorry, Krista. Oh, man.
I mean, we were both trying to go to sleep, and I was just like, "Oh."
You're like, it's that freaking Darius Rucker is always calling the house late.
Darius Rucker. And then I hear like a different side of Gabe because, like I said, I hear this young, gentle sounding Gabe.
Like we do the podcast at 6:30 in the morning. I have my alarm set for 6:15. Yeah. And I hit the snooze.
Of course.
And get up like 10 minutes. So I'm literally like a zombie walking up the steps. But it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. I love you guys. I love this podcast. I love our community. So there's no reason not to do it.
That's right.
On a typical podcast day, I think I get up at about 5:30, make a cup of coffee,
What?
Yeah,
go outside, enjoy the weather. A little bit of everything.
You're up an hour already?
I'm up an hour before we do the show, typically.
Yeah, I'm up at 5.
I'm up 5 minutes before we do the podcast.
That's right.
Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are.
Okay, so besides me ruining your sleep last night, what else has been going on?
Well, I mean, some busy stuff at work. I had to kind of consolidate a lot of my stuff into 3 days because I took my birthday off, which is a Thursday, because I couldn't take Friday off. We've got an important client coming in, like I said. I played a crap load of BioShock 2 over the weekend, and in fact, I was just playing it about an hour ago, and I got the trophy that said that I've rescued all the little sisters, so I know I'm probably close to the end of the game.
Wow.
Nice.
Good for you, man.
So, yeah, I basically played through almost the entire thing over the weekend, so I love that game.
That's great.
I may have to go back to that.
It's honestly, I mean, if you played Infinite, it actually has a lot more features than Infinite because you have an upgrade system that like I said, is linked to rescuing the little sisters.
Gotcha.
They're kind of carrying the substance that you need to get the upgrades.
Ah, okay.
So they kind of help you harvest it, and it's really hard to explain. You kind of have to play one to understand it.
I was going to ask, do I need to play one, or can I just roll into two?
If you don't play one, because one is a little tighter, like it's not, I don't want to say tighter in a good sense, like the controls just aren't as fluid.
Right.
Like if you played Infinite, like those controls are just very liquid, they feel very good.
Yep.
One is just really stiff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to play now, but two, I mean, it was a huge improvement. It's seemingly, I mean, I remember one being a lot more stiff than two is. Two is very enjoyable movement wise, and it's kind of funny because when you take the little sisters to harvest the atom from the bodies, atom is the upgrade substance, if you will.
Yeah.
You have to protect them while they're kind of doing their thing. So you'll set them down, and for about it turns into horde mode for like a minute and a half or so.
Oh wow!
And it's funny now because I've upgraded everything. So now, like when I set them down, I set up 2 turrets. I call in like 2 helicopter turrets. So there's like 4 turrets around the girl as she's like doing her stuff. Yeah. So like I just kind of go sit in the corner and just wait for the guys to come because they're all just annihilated.
That's awesome.
It's pretty funny.
As far as storyline though, do you have to do 1 in order to get 2, or can I just run right into 2? Because I have it downloaded, and it's just been sitting there, and I keep looking at it when I go back to the PS3, and I'm like, man, I really should do that game, but will I just be too confused, or should I just not worry about it?
I think you'd be a little confused unless you actually kind of like went and got. And it'd probably be hard to care. What's that?
You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be hard to care a little bit.
It would be a little bit because there are some characters that cross over from one.
And they don't give any backstory or anything from the intro?
Well, what they do with 1 and 2 is they have those audio diaries that you pick up.
Right,
so it's kind of similar to, I believe Infinite had those too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Infinite had them. I know the Burial at Sea episodes had them. And it's a really cool way to give you some backstory without you having to dig too much because you just pick them up, you start playing them, and you just listen as you're kind of playing the game. Excuse me. So, 1 and 2 both have those. So they kind of give you a lot of backstory through those. And in 2, what's cool is that if you've played 1, even more things are revealed about the story of 1. So while you're playing 1, you don't necessarily get all of it. They kind of reveal more things to you in 2. So playing 2 is a pretty enjoyable experience. You don't have to play it in order to get, like I said, the entire overarching story, but it really adds to it. And even then, the trophies are just like all over the place, man.
Sweet. So that's what I'm doing next.
Really enjoying it. I was going to say, that's why really I recommend if you've played at least 1 and Infinite, playing the Burial at Sea episodes because they reveal a little bit more stuff to you. Nice. And also too, like Burial at Sea, they reveal stuff to you about the story of Infinite so that you can kind of understand why they made the decisions they did with that story because they won't reveal that stuff to you without the DLC. So it's very interesting, and I really recommend that if you downloaded Infinite as a part of PS Plus, so theoretically getting it for free, quote unquote, I really recommend picking up the DLC because you'll only spend $20 to get the season pass, and you'll get the entire story.
And they're both long DLCs too, aren't they?
They're fairly decent. The first one I think was like 2.5 to 3 hours, but the second one was, I believe, 4 hours.
Wow, that's great.
But it was very enjoyable. So there was nothing about Burial at Sea episode 2 that was a slog. It was just very fun. So
nothing felt like work.
No, not really. It's like I said, it's a lot more akin to 1 and 2, but there is some interesting story stuff there that they show you.
Cool.
And then
Nice.
you still have not completed Mass Effect 3, is that correct? I'm just throwing that out. Just throwing that out there.
Like I said, man, it's going to be such a short, or it's going to be a couple of hours to get maybe 1 or 2 trophies. I gotta do it.
Oh, so you're waiting till after the trophy wars. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta do it, but it's going to be so funny because I'm going to finish BioShock 2 and probably whatever game I start next before I even finish Mass Effect 3.
Yep.
So I just kind of put it on the back burner for now, but
you'll get there.
I think my next goal is to download and start Infamous. So
good.
Heyo.
There you go.
We will see what happens.
There you go.
That's a good one.
That's awesome.
Router.
What's going on, fellas? I feel like I haven't talked to you, or like I feel it's been like 2 to 3 weeks since our last meeting. It's just been a whirlwind, man. Like work's been kicking my butt. I pulled an all-nighter last week. I think it was on either Wednesday or Thursday.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
You're pretty much useless by the end.
Yeah, you're done. And just there's a lot of stuff just happening all at the same time. I had a last-minute business trip to Phoenix I left Monday and came back last night at midnight. And that's when I got Hall's text. And I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. Because I'm driving. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving home. I'm almost pulling up in the driveway. And then I get your text and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I get an extra hour of sleep. So, so that was very, very cool. But yeah, man, it's just been crazy. The funny thing is so I've had Milk Money Promotions for, I want to say 13 years now. This is really like my first official business trip since I've been in business. Because as a website designer, I don't really have to go anywhere. My clients send they send me kind of outlines of what they want, and everything can just be done through email, or if it has to be through, Google Hangout or Skype or something, it's usually pretty easy. But in this case, it was kind of like there's a whole team effort, and they wanted to bring everybody out to Phoenix. And I'm like, hey, why not? So we went out to Phoenix, and it's a beautiful city, man. It was really cool. It's so weird. It's like desert, mountains, desert, and then boom, there's this huge metropolis of a city in the middle of the desert.
Scottsdale.
Yeah, and you go down there, and I'm like, am I in Tatooine? Is there some sort of vortex that happened that all of a sudden I'm going to start seeing
that's funny.
The canteen scene's going to be there, and it's just like
my friend doesn't like you.
Yeah, no, I don't like you either. So it's a beautiful city. So I was in like a hotel conference room the whole day anyway, but it was beautiful. Like they still had like a little outside patio and everything. So it was one of those quick little flash in and out deals, and I was back. And so yeah, just been working, and probably after this cast, I'll probably be working another 2 to 3 hours tonight.
Oh, gracious.
So it's kicking my butt, but it's great. And I'm still able to get some gaming, and I'm working on the Evil campaign for Infamous Second Son. And I'm just loving that game. It's fun doing that again, and I'm having a good time with it. I'm not getting a ton of trophies, but I'm still getting some, and I'm fine with it. Like the trophy wars, I'm already, I know I'm not getting anywhere.
Oh, I'm sure
close.
I'm buried too.
So. I'm not getting anywhere close, but it's just fun to just be a trophy hunter for a month and just see what happens. So I still have about another quarter of the way to go to finish everything. And then I don't know what I'm going to do next. I mean, hopefully I'll be done, but Watch Dogs comes out toward the end of this month. So I'll get like maybe 2 days of it, and I probably won't have enough to really make a difference in any type of trophies for that anyway. But I'm super excited that's coming out, and we got Mario Kart. So this next half of May is going to be some extremely exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And still can't beat 2048, Gabe. I was on a flight for 3.5 hours, and about an hour of that was me. I'm like so close, but I just slip up once, and then you just it starts the chain reaction, and you start all over. And then here's Gabe like sending me a screen grab of him beating it again. I'm like, all right, just rub it in, Jack. That's great.
I will say, Gabe, your trick made the game way easier.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah, totally.
Hey,
ridiculous.
I'm here to serve.
Exactly. That night, like after you told me that, like I tripled my high score, and now like I'm so close. I am almost there, and it's just like it was just one move too many in this way, and boom, it started the chain reaction. And there's nothing worse than going back to 0 and you're like, I was just there. So I'm almost there. I got it though. But yeah, it's all good. And yeah, what else is going on? I think that's it for me. I'm pretty been pretty boring, just work and a little bit of game here and there and a little bit of travel. Lauren has the stationary show up in New York this next weekend, so we're all flying up Friday. And her parents are flying up too, because her Lauren's one of her good friends up in Jersey, they're having a baby, and they're in September, and they're doing a baby shower. So we're kind of hitting two birds with one stone, in that she's doing that on Saturday. The stationary show starts on Sunday. Piper, her parents, and I come back on Monday. She stays till Thursday.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be it's going to be daddy-daughter week next week. So it'll be cool. But thank God I've got my parents here, and her parents will be here. So grandparents are a beautiful thing.
Yeah, they are.
But it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a good time. I'm excited. And Lauren's kind of like, I don't want to stay up here. I want to be with you guys. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
It'll be a good break for her though too.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll miss Piper like crazy.
Of course. And it's not like I'm not going to be sending her pictures, and we'll FaceTime at night and all that fun stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm having a little daddy-daughter week, Monday through Thursday. So it'll be fun.
Good, man.
And that's the routers.
There you go.
How about you, Mr. Gabe?
Chilling. Ended the tour. It was awesome.
That was such a quick tour too.
I know. It wasn't really a tour. It was like a get together. Really. Toby Mac Skillet Lecrae. It was awesome. And then getting the kitchen knocked out, got the countertops put in. They look way better than I thought they were going to look.
Man, everything's
that is so much different than touring.
What, doing housework?
Yeah, it's like touring and then come home and you're.
It's one of the ways I stay humble. It's one of the ways I stay humble.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, yay, I have people applause for me here, and then at home I'm the.
You're schlepping.
You're on stage like in between songs, like I'm working on my kitchen right now.
Exactly. It's a nice.
Let
balance.
me tell you something.
So that's been good, getting that knocked out. Beat episode 3 of the Wolf Among Us finally.
I need to do that.
Oh, you haven't played that one yet?
No.
Oh, you have to.
It's good. It's good. It wasn't. This is what sucks. I see the next one being really slow, and hopefully it's not. Hopefully I'm wrong about that.
But that's how it is. 3 and 4, I thought on the first season of Walking Dead, those are like your setup episodes, and then they hit you home.
One.
Yeah, they hit you home for the 5th one. Definitely. I thought third was episode 3 was a little slow on the first season of Walking Dead, but they have to do that it's all about the story.
Yeah, pacing.
You're going to have that. So you're going to have those episodes. They're in everything. So yeah. But I mean, we're gonna get the 1-2 punch in these next episodes, and it'll be really cool.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they set us up with the jab.
That's right.
And
the Walking Dead episode 3 came out too, right?
Yes, it did.
Yep, episode 3 dropped. I think yesterday.
Yep.
Need to get to that for sure. And then I'm actually playing Portal 2.
Very cool, dude. Very cool.
Weird throwback, but like I don't know if you guys remember, but when I got to go to Valve, the guy that showed us around gave me a copy of Portal 2, and I was like, you know what? I need to play this.
It's a great idea.
Never played any of the Portals, and it's really kind of cool. Obviously
really smart.
The physics are just like crazy, and you're like, oh man, this is, it's kind of mind trippy at first.
It really is.
And then you kind of get used to it and settle in. So so I'm playing Portal 2. That's been fun on the old PS3 there. Waiting for Watch Dogs and Mario Kart to come out.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I haven't started my bad campaign yet on Infamous. I think I'm going to give that a second, probably do Portal, then jump back into that if I get there before Watch Dogs comes out.
Did you put the brakes on Persona?
No, I've been playing Persona here or there. That's just kind of like I'm in this
ongoing saga.
Yeah, I'm in this weird lull. I don't know if I'm at the end or not, but like I'm in this kind of like, it doesn't even feel like it's ramping really, but I don't know. You've kind of like hit this point in this story where I can like It feels like I can do what I want. For those that have played it, I'm out of school and it's summertime, and for those that have played it will know what I'm talking about. I'm chasing a kid around in a very video game looking dungeon. So that's not a spoiler for anybody, but if you've played it and you've beat it, you know what I'm talking about, and that's where I am. And cool. So it might be towards the end, like semi, but then there's some stuff that I haven't done at all in the game, like you can fish, and I haven't fished at all. And so that makes you feel like, oh, maybe I'm not towards the end of the game, but we'll see. I have no idea, but still liking Persona 4. That's fun. There's a new one coming out. I think Persona X. I don't know when it's coming. I forget, but it's coming out. I don't know if I'll pick up, like, continue with it like I did the Final Fantasies, but we'll see. I haven't seen too much about X, so it might grab my attention. Router.
Oh, buddy.
You want to do this thing?
I think we should.
Well, let's do it.
We got new releases for this week. As we've already said, The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 3, In Harm's Way, is now out for all consoles. Well, PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. It's weird if you say all consoles, you got to factor in our newborns.
That's
and
right.
I'm not used to it yet. But yeah, so that came out. Everybody, if you have not played that, go play that. I got to go download that too. I may do that while I'm working. Borderlands 2 for Vita is now officially out.
Mixed reviews on that one.
Yeah,
really?
I've heard they've kind of skimped a little on some stuff, but I don't know. You guys tell us. You be the judge. Those Vita owners, let us know what you think about it.
What are they saying? There's a lot of stuff left out.
We've got a thread started on the forum. A few people have been talking about how IGN's review was, a little low, and the reason that, at least when I listened to the last episode of Beyond, I think the reason that they had said was because when you compare it to the experience on the PS3, they had to make some sacrifices that just take you out of the game.
Is it fair to compare the two?
I don't know if I think you have to give it some leeway because it's portable versus you're on a console. And it's just, I think it's a different experience. An example that I heard, I think on the same podcast that you listened to, Hall, was like when the guys on the PS3, like when you say evaporate a guy, like there's a sequence, like he falls on his knees and then goes down and then kind of slowly evaporates. On the Vita, he just disappears. So like they cut out those type of effects probably for processing and for frame rate issues. But, that's just a small example of how that happens and what they're doing a little different. But I don't think you could necessarily expect a full blown PS3 or Xbox 360 like experience on a handheld like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And like you're missing the shoulder buttons, like the touchscreen just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
like,
I mean if this game had only come out on Vita, this may not be an issue.
If you had nothing to compare it to, is what you're saying.
Well, that Uncharted game only came out on Vita, and even though there are other Uncharted experiences to compare it to, most people say that the Uncharted Vita game is actually quite good just on its own.
Right.
So the fact that this is like a port of a better game, theoretically, I mean, just playing it on the PS3 or playing it on the Xbox 360, there's probably no doubt that it's better because they didn't have to make sacrifices like taking out animations and having to, accommodate for the frame rate a little bit. Because I've heard that once a lot of characters get on screen, it starts to get a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But really, I think I'm still going to pick it up someday when I get a Vita, just because I want a portable copy of Borderlands.
Really, you guys like that game? You guys like that game that much?
Oh, it's so good. But
telling you, man.
I think honestly, with that stuff coming out, I think that they're going to tweak it up a little bit. Honestly, I think it'll only be a matter of time before they make a few tweaks, they send out a patch, and they've updated it to run a little better. I'm sure that will happen.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I bet they will do that.
Yeah, because they don't want people to be down on it. I mean, wasn't that game kind of born out of just people on Twitter just like
wanting it,
just wanting it, basically, just getting really excited.
It's a fan favorite. It's a fan favorite. It's always been that way. Yeah.
So I mean, it really sucks to see that it may have just been launched a little before prime time.
Yeah.
But I really hope that they can kind of turn that around.
Hall, what is it going to take for us to strap Gabe down and have him play these games?
I don't know.
Because
I got it. We can tie him up and we can be like, all right, either you play Borderlands 2 or you play, Outlast or something.
Oh, no, Lord.
Yeah, I think he'll go with Borderlands 2.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those things. I think in a way, Gabe, I think you are missing out a little because I was never a huge first-person shooter person. I have one of the Call of Duties. I have Modern Warfare 3, I think, and that's it. But Borderlands, I will do all day, every day as a first-person shooter. It's different. The artwork is great. I think you're missing out.
It's got RPG elements too.
Yeah.
Shoot.
What's not to like?
It's clever. It's really clever. And the upgrading system, like there's just tons of weaponry, and I think
it's full of like puns and stupid stuff.
Yep. Just put it on your bucket list. You got to do it. You have to do it at some point.
Okay.
When there's downtime, if there's ever any downtime.
I know. What's that?
Exactly.
During the trophy wars would have been perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, because
you might have picked up a few. I mean, I'm trying to remember how many trophies were in it.
I am too. I thought there was quite a few, but I could be wrong.
Remember.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
It's always fun to kind of start a new game if you're going for trophies, just because you can kind of pummel through and get a bunch of them. I've probably gotten 20 in BioShock 2.
You know what I want to play too really bad, and I know we're in the middle of new releases, but
that's fine. That's fine.
Remember Me.
Yeah, I've got that downloaded.
That was free on Plus, and I think Portal just happened to be ahead of it on the list as I was like scrolling down. Mm-hmm. I probably would have started Remember Me if I would have saw it.
Hey, are there a lot of trophies on XCOM?
I have no idea.
I can't remember, but dang it, Rowdy, you need to play that game.
I know. That's there. It's sitting right there, and I stare at it all the time. And I'm like, I have to play you.
It's so good.
I know. I keep going back.
All right, so that's got to be like one of my favorite games of last generation.
All right, so it's settled. So, Gabe, you have to play Borderlands, either 1 or 2. I would recommend 2. And then I have to play XCOM.
You got to play XCOM.
Definitely.
XCOM is so
And now
good.
I have to play Infamous.
And you have to, and you will. And you're on your way to doing that anyway. All right, let's reel it back in. There's only 2 more that I've got. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe Combo Pack is coming out for the PS3 and Xbox 360. And we have Super Time Force for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Top selling games, week ending May 3rd. This is a roller coaster, boys, so here we go. This is U.S. only. And like I said, it's the week ending May 3rd, so it's always a week back, and it is brick and mortar stores. We start with number 10, Pokemon XY for the 3DS. Ooh. Number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox One.
That movie is not getting good reviews, by the way.
No, it is not.
That's really sad, too.
That sucks.
There's a lot of good work put into that, especially the sound is just amazing.
But it is still selling tickets. I see all the numbers, and it's, what is this, the second or third week? It's still schooling a lot of movies that are coming out.
I think by the time it hits DVD and Blu-ray, it will have broke even.
Probably. Sure. I'm sure you're right.
That's a tall order, boy.
Mm-hmm. A lot of money into that. Number 8, Call of Duty Ghosts for the Xbox 360 comes back up.
Huh.
Number 7, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox 360 debuts. That's number 7. Number 6, the debut, Mario Golf World Tour 3DS.
Man, that looks so fun. I love those kind of games, like hot shot golf and all that. Oh, I love that crap.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Number 5, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the PS4 debuts.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Ahead of the 360?
And Xbox One.
Huh.
That's interesting. Number 4, Titanfall for the 360.
Sure.
Number 3, Minecraft for the 360.
Oh my gosh.
It
telling
beat
you,
out
dude, it's crazy.
It beat out the new release, Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm just saying.
Yes, it did.
Oh.
Yes, it did. It did. And it did about 10,000 more units than Amazing Spider-Man. Number 2, Titanfall for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And here we go, boys. Curveball. Number 1, Kirby Triple Deluxe 3DS takes the prize.
Wow.
Number
Can
1
you
and number
believe
10. That
He
is
killed it.
crazy.
3DS has 3 games in the top 10 just like that.
Makes sense. They got, 40-some million of those out there?
Boom.
I love that.
You cannot say
Am
that
I going to have to get a
Nintendo's on its way up.
3DS?
I know, right?
Well, actually, the little side note here, because I had bookmarked this story, Target has it at $99 for the 2DS.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
saw
Ooh.
that.
So if you're interested in one, it's a good price.
Shoot.
That's dangerous. That is dangerous.
Huh.
Now,
But
I will
I
say
thought that was-
on that list, Amazing Spider-Man 2 has not come to physical yet for Xbox One.
No, it did. It was number 9.
Oh, duh.
Yeah,
Did-
that's
it-
just brick and mortar.
Yeah, that's brick and mortar. So it did 14,000 units.
Oh, okay.
The 360 did 16,000 units. The PS4 did 27,000 units. That's pretty amazing.
And how much did Minecraft do?
Minecraft did 35,000 units.
So it did more than Xbox One and 360 combined.
Yes,
For
exactly.
Spider-Man.
And it's been on the charts.
Minecraft
has for 48 weeks.
It'll
That's
continue to be
insane,
there.
and it will continue to be there.
Oh, by the way, in my client meeting today, Minecraft came up
Oh, Lord.
How? Why?
Amazing.
because it just does. Yeah, my son is playing this Minecraft game. Yep.
Looks like the
Yeah.
games I used to play when I was his age.
Oh boy.
Hall. We have huge
Yeah,
Xbox
we got some
news.
juggernaut stories.
Should we
this
do
week.
it right now, or do you have something else you want
Juggernaut it.
in front of it?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Plow through it.
So it came out this week that Microsoft has announced a $399 Xbox One bundle. Oh,
Not
bundle,
a
if you
bundle.
will, without Connect. Bundleless. I don't know.
Bundleless.
Did you shed a tear, Hall? You were like, oh, finally.
I was actually like kind of a little disappointed. I thought they kind of would have held out a little longer.
That's what I thought. We all knew that they would do it. I had no idea it would be in like 6 months after release.
You know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to say, I think it just has to do with they got really nervous because they were looking at the market and the PS4 has continued to climb, and they're worried about their market share, so they probably rushed to put it together.
I kind of have to track back a little bit. It's not so much that I'm disappointed at Microsoft. I'm disappointed that they kind of, put it out there with this precedent to basically say to developers, hey, you can make a Kinect game because everybody's going to have it. Now that's definitely not going to be the case. And it was way too fast, in my opinion. Because that's really, I don't want to say that they were like admitting that something had changed, but it was almost kind of like they said, we really bet the farm on Kinect, but
And it failed.
yeah, well,
Not failed.
It failed to move the numbers for
Right,
the
right.
price increase because think about how many people bought PS4s and then bought the camera. That's almost the same price
Yep.
as the Xbox One with Kinect.
Yep.
So
And I guarantee you that is probably one of the big factors that made them rush this quickly is because they saw that those PS4 numbers were there, and then the I was getting sold.
Separately.
Sorry, was getting bought separately. So they were like, "Well, shoot, we have this in a nice little bundle. What's the difference?" And so then they probably just changed their strategy to kind of separate it out.
But the Eye is not even close to as cool a tech as the Kinect.
oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
and so
but-
my only thing,
But it's not in the box.
Yeah, I know.
They're
But is
giving
that
you
gonna-
the option to piecemeal it. It's exactly like my industry where so many people used to buy big consoles because they were like, it has everything I need up front.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now they kind of piecemeal their purchases. So they say, all right, I'm going to buy, X amount of things because I don't need a full console yet. Then I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this. And eventually they've built a full console and they've spent $100,000. So they've spent exactly the same amount of money that they would have spent just buying the whole thing, but they've built it out over time. And when I say console, I'm talking about audio consoles.
Of course.
I guess I need to specify.
Yeah. It's not a game console right now.
Big old boards.
I will say this, though. Is it really going to hurt developers? Because in my perception...
Yes.
Okay, but my perception is that the Kinect has not been used to its full potential, and a lot of people have said that as well.
But let me ask you this, Router. Let's say Internet Explorer... And I mean, just go with me. This is a bad example, but I'm just trying to do it for yours. Like, let's say
from the moment you said Internet Explorer, I was just
let's say Safari, all the whatever, was like, hey, this is what we're doing. And then so Router, as an internet guy who makes websites, starts this huge project employing all these people to do that thing. Let's say it was Flash. And then they're like, hey, we're not doing Flash anymore, so you can actually get this one. And then you would feel like, wait, but I'm spending all this time trying to do this, and now you're going to, kind of take the rug out from under me.
Yeah, but isn't most of what the Kinect functionality was more value added, or like just a...
I don't think they wanted it to be. I don't think they wanted it.
No, I think a lot of gamers looked at it value added, and that's why maybe a lot of them skipped out on it because they didn't feel like $100 more was worth it.
Well, clearly it is if they're buying a PS4 and then an eye on top of it. But I think a lot of people are getting the eye because of the Twitch and the streaming, and they want to be able to beef up their own channels and have their own gameplay channels. I get that. I was even like, man, I should probably get an eye too. But it's just one of those things. But I'm still not convinced that it's. I mean, Gabe, I get your point because I've actually gone through that experience because Flash is kind of going down by the wayside anyway. Exactly. So I've learned other languages that do kind of the same thing. But I never thought that developers and just most of these upcoming games are going to focus so much on the Kinect functionality of it all.
Right, and I don't think most developers. I just think some developers are probably really.
Well, the ones who are focusing, I'm sure somebody is working on and is under NDA for like an awesome Kinect game, and now they're not going to have the same install base that they could have projected.
Right.
I'm thinking other than if every Xbox One came with Kinect.
Right. Now I'm thinking of like the Just Dances of the world and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'd be pissed. That sucks. But at the same time, that's one little market share. I don't know if it's going to make that huge of a difference if I'm a developer, but in those kind of instances where it's, it brings a lot of people together, like those games are, those are your social gathering type of games that sell very well.
Then perhaps what they need to do is bundle at least one of those games with the Xbox One bundle that has Kinect to get people to buy it.
That's a great call.
Because that could be a great call for the people who are a little more casual who would buy the Kinect for things like that, like playing Just Dance or something like that.
Well, then, you know what, though? They could also get the Wii U then.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's what I have. I mean, that's how I was really introduced to Just Dance in the first place, because I have a Wii U now, and it's so much fun. I really enjoy it, because it's a good party thing. Like I've got, 2 nieces and a nephew that love it. And, we have like family game nights at times, and it's great. And that is exactly what the Wii U is for. Total side note. But at the same time, those kind of games is exactly, that's a huge market. So I'm basically like.
And it is true that Just Dance was like selling the highest on the Wii, wasn't it? Just like
it's
the
one
Wii
of them.
vanilla.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's your introduction to the Wii, because it's so funny to see all the adults watching all the kids in the background going, "This is just fascinating technology." It's hilarious.
Yeah,
I get it, and Gabe, I'm probably just completely contradicting myself and went a full circle around the argument, because I can see in those kind of instances where I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
but at the same time, Yeah, and it's going to affect some people, and I think the majority though won't be too terribly affected.
It just sucks because I can see Hall's point where it's funny because Hall doesn't like Connect, but at the same time is disappointed that they unbundled it but I think that
just because of what that means for people who want to make games for it.
Yeah, and what it does too is like, it kind of takes us back to before launch when everybody was like, okay, Microsoft, okay. Who are you going to be? Mm-hmm. And so they were going to be the DRM company, and then they weren't going to be that, and then they were going to be this, and then they're not going to be that, and then they're going to be the Connect guys, and then we're going to force this Connect thing, and it's going to be awesome. Just trust us. Okay, no, we're not doing that anymore. And so,
they came too late to the party too. They didn't bring out anything for it.
I know, but it's just one of those things. It's kind of a lose-lose situation because you put yourself in the position where Microsoft wants the gamers and the customer to know that, hey, we're listening to you. And the customer saying, hey, we want you to listen to us and know what you're doing. But it's like, you want both. It's almost not fair because we're saying, hey, listen to us, but also drive your ship and show us where you want us to go. Because at the end of the day, like the radio, we'll just listen to you and we'll end up falling in love with the thing. And so it does suck because I'm like, I was really looking forward to that one Connect game that broke down all the walls. And you were like, oh, that's why, kind of like this happening with Project Morpheus. If it comes to fruition the way we think it will, and hopefully we'll see more at E3, they're like, hey, we did the move because that was going to move into being Project Morpheus and help with this whole situation. And then you're like, oh, that's why you did move.
But you're still waiting for that game though, Gabe.
Exactly.
That's the issue. So really what that's done is kind of delayed that game that you're looking for probably another 2-3 years.
I know, but I'm like, don't quit 6 months. It came out in November?
No. Yeah.
December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months you try it. And then, but if the numbers are that bad for them, they look like whatever to us. We don't feel it like they feel it. But
the numbers are bad because from a next generation launch, there are not a lot of games.
Yeah, but there never is.
A lot. Well, that's true.
And it's true. AAA games are changing. You have to spend a lot of money making these games, so there's a lot of risk involved, and it's really hard to convince these companies. I mean, you look at Sony with their posting losses. You look at Microsoft, who is kind of having to backpedal a little bit on some of their stuff. Like
a little bit. That was their whole campaign.
They have pretty much done a 180 on everything that they introduced.
The first half of 2013, that's all they did.
Yeah,
and it sucks.
It's hard to take a risk. Like they would be taking a big risk if they put a lot of money into a well-made first-party Connect game. But I see exactly what Gabe's saying, because without people going out there and venturing and journeying into new things, we don't get new things.
Right.
Like if it weren't for Microsoft taking charge with Xbox Live when they did, like bringing it out and making online play what it was, Sony's online play wouldn't be any good.
Nope.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't have seen a trailblazer out there to kind of shoot for.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you have to kind of experience that in order to really understand what's going on. Like
exactly.
Another example is the light bar on the DualShock 4. I didn't understand until I played Second Son. And once I saw the functionality that you can do with it, there is a lot of potential to do some very cool things for future games. I get it now. And the Kinect, I think, has never had that. I mean, they have it with those motion, the motion style games like the Just Dance and stuff. They've always had that, but that's not the hardcore gamer. That's not what they're about.
You know what's interesting? The coolest thing to me about Kinect has been those tech demos, where they're like, look at all that it can do. And you're like,
which you were part of at E3 last year.
Right. I was the idiot that was on stage like, oh, look, it can tell my heartbeat. Look, tell I'm standing on one foot. But like, that's the coolest stuff I've ever even seen come out of the Kinect. And, I don't know if I don't know if there's been a snowboarding game that,
you haven't seen it yet. So you're already nixing it now. Yeah.
It really does suck too that the Kinect is in a position. I mean, looking at the gaming industry, we're obviously in there reading the news and we're communicating with our community. So we're keeping up on the cusp of gaming constantly. But Kinect seems to attract an audience that does not do that.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, just like the Wii.
Yeah, Kinect attracts an audience that doesn't keep up with that stuff. So you really have to get it on USA Today or get it on.
It has to make headline news.
Yeah, it has to. I said USA Today. I probably mean the Today Show. You have to get it on those morning shows.
You got to get it on usatoday.com for people to care.
Yeah, you really have to get it out there in the mainstream news.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you've kind of got to do something that's really forward thinking. I think that Just Dance was really forward thinking. Everybody had that freaking game.
It's a great game.
I mean, even though it was, it's a little cheesy for the hardcore gamer, but it's a fun game for everybody who comes over.
You get in a room with some of your friends or your family or whatever, and the cheese goes right out the window.
Yeah,
dude, I did a dance to freaking Prince Ali on Aladdin in front of my nieces and nephew, and still had fun doing it. I felt like the weirdest guy in the world, but it was hilarious because they all dared me to do it, and I'm like, of course I'm going to do it now. Yeah. But you will succumb to that. It's hilarious.
And I think that's what Kinect needed, that next thing, and why they didn't just release the Xbox One until they had that next thing, I'll never know.
So what does this do for PS4 now? What are our thoughts on this? Like,
their market share is about to get cut into.
Oh, sure.
That's definitely going to happen.
And we have to mention too, I don't think we have yet. This is all happening June 9th. This is not right away. This isn't this week. They're doing it just in time for
E3.
For E3 in their press conference. So at their press conference, they can say, and today we're launching the Xbox One at $399 without Kinect. How they're going to twist that and make that sound like a positive thing, I can't wait to hear. It's kind of like, the press conferences end up being like Democrats and Republicans. Like they can have to give some bad news, but make it sound like good news. Like, we've been listening and we care about the gamer, and that's why we took the Kinect away, and now you can buy it without it. And then Phil Spencer, who wrote this blog that he's the head of the Xbox division of Microsoft. He also said that they will be offering the Kinect obviously separate later this year, but they don't know the price point yet. And he said that he doesn't think it'll be $100. And the way it was worded to me sounded like it might be more than $100.
Ooh.
And so I don't know what that means. He's like, we have more room when we bundle it, but he says, I don't think it'll be exactly $100.
Well, the original Kinect came out at, I think it was $149 maybe or $129, and it still sold pretty well.
I know, but now
at that time
you didn't have the pre-pricing of it being $100 with the console.
Yeah, that's true.
I think what's going to end up happening is there's probably going to be some balance now. I think PS4 had a little bit of an edge. That might go away now, and now we're kind of even keel because there are, as we've seen in the charts and everything, there are a lot of Xbox 360 users, and now is their chance. It's $100 less. They can now bump up to an Xbox One, and Microsoft will grab that market share. Their install base, will always be there. And so I think that might even the playing field a little bit more, or make it could do quite a bit for Microsoft at this point.
You guys can tell me if you think that you agree with this. I think the reason that I was a little disappointed that they did this so early was because they have some pretty good games coming out, pretty good exclusives coming out. They've got Halo 5, obviously. They've got the new Gears of War game.
And that never used any Kinect features, did it?
No, it didn't. But those would sell a lot of consoles.
It probably is going to have voice command, though, if you have Kinect.
But what I'm saying is those would sell a lot of consoles. I don't think, Sony's lead with the PS4 would have lasted a whole heck of a lot longer once we started seeing some exclusives.
We need to have this conversation again after E3 because I think a lot will be revealed then.
I think that Titanfall was the metric. I think they said if we can have a better than Sony month with Titanfall, then maybe we should wait longer. And in that month, Sony sold more PS4s. So that was probably the deciding factor for them. Me personally, I think that the month that Halo 5 comes out and the month that Gears of War 4 comes out, I think they'll sell twice as many Xbox Ones than PS4. So that's why, like I said, I kind of feel like this was a little premature.
Yeah, no one's going anywhere. the playing field is kind of back to where it's always been. You're either a Microsoft gamer or you're a Sony gamer, and Nintendo's in the middle, and that's pretty much how it goes.
You know what's cool? You know,
it's been that way for years now.
Yeah, and we have to remember too, there's a crap load of 360 gamers out there that haven't gone next gen on either platform yet.
That's exactly right.
You know, there's some that jumped ship and went to PS4 because they were so turned off by the way the Xbone launched. But like, there's a grip of them out there that haven't bought anything, and they're about to. That it's going to be the Xbox One.
And you know what? I think a lot of those Xbox 360 owners are not the hardcore gamers. They are the general gamer consumers who bought it for Call of Duty, Madden, and the likes. And I think they're just waiting for a reason to upgrade.
Nah, Jack.
When they stop making Call of Duty for the 360.
Yeah. That's pretty,
there are
to me,
people,
that sounds pretty spot on.
I know people that buy just Call of Duty and just Madden.
Me too.
And if they keep making them for 360, they're probably going to keep buying them for 360.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Why would? Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you?
Also, in this update, another, I think, awesome news for Xbox guys. They're dropping the need of an Xbox Live Gold membership to use the online apps like Machinima, Twitch, Netflix, HBO Go, NFL app, MLB TV, NBA Game Time, NHL Game Center, Internet Explorer. Maybe that's where that came from. Skype. And so all that's going to be available, and a lot of other apps is going to be available to all the Xbox customers. And they're doing something really interesting. If for people that were mad or that are upset that they're making this change, let's say you just use your Xbox One for Netflix and stuff like that, because essentially they're making people pay twice. You had to pay for your Netflix subscription and pay for gold. Mm-hmm. And then that's how you got online with your situation. But they're refunding some people's money.
Wow.
They're like, hey, I bought this just so I could use all these things. And they're saying,
but
hey,
you
have
to present your case to them though first, I'm assuming.
I'd imagine, and you wouldn't have gold anymore.
And they said it's going to take probably up to 8 weeks for processing.
Oh, easily.
I think that was a dumb idea, the refund thing.
They're just trying to,
No,
clear the smoke.
I appreciate the gesture. It's a technical, it's a nightmare for fulfillment to actually do. That would be an absolute nightmare.
I mean, that's the thing, is that I get that they feel. They didn't even come out and say this. Like, I understand that the community at large was upset. Like, even me, like, I don't have a gold account right now because I don't have any multiplayer games I'm playing.
Right.
It would be cool to be able to use those apps. I do have other things that do have those apps on them. But to me, this is them saying, this wasn't a business decision we made. This was just wrong. And I don't think that they should backtrack like that. I think they should just say, we're opening it up. But I don't think offering a refund, I think that just looks bad. Because that's saying like, desperate. Xbox Live isn't worth it.
Well, no,
you know what I mean?
It looks a little desperate too, because it's like, hey, we're really trying to please you to keep you around. Because think about it, like, I have HBO Go, right? But I have that because I subscribe it through my cable network, so I'm paying a portion through my cable network on top of Xbox Gold. That I understand. I understand all that. Like, why am I doing that? That doesn't make any sense. I think they're just kind of overcompensating right now, just to try and. I don't know if that's an act of desperation.
PlayStation went through the same thing. You just apologize and grovel and
move on.
Well, no, you give them extra incentive. Like, we have this at my work because we sell a lot of software products. Mm-hmm. And we'll every now and then a retailer will run a sale on one of our software products, and we'll get, a couple of emails here and there from customers who bought it at full price. And they'll be like, yeah, it's pretty crappy that you guys, that somebody's running a sale on this half off and I bought it for full price. And then we simply send them a message and we say, hey, I tell you what, we'll give you a free piece of software, or we'll give you some kind of incentive, because it's a digital good. So it doesn't cost us a thing.
Nope.
So we deliver that to the customer, and they absolutely are happy every time. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, you listened to me and you did something. So instead of offering a refund, I think they should have just said, you know what, let's let's give you a really cool first party game. Like here, have Halo 4 or some game that they're not selling copies of anymore.
I agree.
I mean, really,
or that they are selling copies
of.
of.
Yeah, even a game that they were selling copies of, because this would be a smart thing to do rather than give refunds. They already have that money. Giving that money back is not a smart idea. Giving a customer an incentive is a smart idea, because that's not devaluing
Gold.
what Xbox Live is.
You're
by
right.
saying, like, don't pay for Xbox Live because obviously it's not worth it to you.
Yeah, and here's your money back for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
That's just saying, like, hey, it's really cool that you signed up for Xbox Live, but we are making these services free to you now. So, kind of as our token of appreciation, here's a couple of games, digital titles, because that would cost them nothing.
I would be all over that.
Hall.
I think that's a smart thing to do.
Hall.
Yes.
You're getting very decisive in your old age.
I know, man. He's crushing it right now.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah.
It's past midnight, Jack.
4 minutes. 4 minutes of old man.
4 minutes in, and you're now an old man. Congratulations.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Happy birthday, all.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, bud. I'm glad we get to be the first ones to tell you.
See, it all worked out. This late night rendezvous all worked out for the best.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about Xbox anymore.
Yeah,
but
we run the gamut on that.
I'm going to say this one last thing. Games with Gold is coming to the Xbox One, which I know Xbox One guys, all the games that they've been giving out were all 360 games. So starting in June, Max, The Curse of Brotherhood, and Halo Spartan Assault will be free probably on, first half and second half of the month. And I think they're reverting to the PSN way of doing things, to where you don't just get them for free and get to keep them if your gold runs out, which I think they were doing before. Where if you downloaded one of those games and your subscription was up, you still had those games. Obviously, PS Plus doesn't do it like that. Once your PS Plus membership runs out, you don't have those games anymore, or access to those games. Anyway, Hall, give us something else that has nothing to do with the Kinect.
We have talked way too much about that stuff.
Yeah, we kind of went on a tangent, but a good tangent and a thought-provoking tangent.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about Resolutiongate regarding Watch Dogs?
Yes. That's what I was going to talk about.
So originally it was published on the Sony's
website.
Watch Dogs website that the PS4 version would be 1080p 30 frames per second, I think it was.
60 frames per second.
60 frames. So 1080p 60 frames. Oh,
they couldn't have been more wrong about that.
That is a tall order.
That is a tall order.
But it came out recently that
Ubisoft
it's actually going
released,
to run. Yes. Ubisoft released the information that it will run at 900p and be 30 frames a second.
There you go. Right. That sounds a little bit
729p on the Xbone One.
What are those extra 9 lines of resolution going to do? Why would they not just make it 720p?
It's going to be 4K and 60 frames per second, and your console will blow up.
Exactly.
Yeah, about 2 generations from now.
Yeah, that's insane.
So I thought that was hilarious.
I'll be getting it for the PS4, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah,
let me tell you something. Depending upon how far back you sit from your TV, you're not going to.
Yeah,
notice
you can't tell that crap.
You can't tell that
1520 vision. That's what my brother has. He has 1520, which means it's actually better than perfect vision.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
pretty
he's
insane.
the only one that
Does
can
he eat
tell
a lot
the
of
difference.
carrots?
I don't freaking know what he eats. He's in amazing shape though. So he's going to see that 9p of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, that's what the way I look at it is, if the game runs good, that's all I care about.
Exactly.
That is all I care about.
There's nothing more frustrating than lag when you're in the middle of a heated whatever it may be. You're like, really? It has to happen now?
Hello, Telltale.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, Watch Dogs is the perfect example, but they're also the perfect example that 1080p, 720p, all that does not matter.
No.
Give me a good freaking game.
A smooth, good flowing
And even if
game.
it runs crappy, I still played Walking Dead on my Vita. So
there you go.
Give me a good game. The NPD group stands for the National Purchase Diary, a marketing research group, has found that 74% of U.S. gamers still prefer disc-based games over digital when they're set at the same price. And I am a part of that 74%.
I am too.
As am I.
I like reselling my games. I think I get more out of them if I can resell them, and you can't resell digital. So
I haven't sold a single disc.
I think I'm moving Router's direction. Like when I get into this next gen, I'm not going to sell anything.
I like just having a library. The only thing that I'm giving away is Dragon Age 2. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I think that's what I'm going to do.
Have you done that yet?
No.
Oh, no way.
No, I'm so sorry. But he told me, he's like, I still have to go through the first one anyway, so take your time. Okay. And I'm actually holding him to it. I'm like, sure, okay, no problem. No, I like having the library. And if I don't like something, I have a great community here. I'm happy to just give it away. I really am. Like, that and doesn't bother me.
I like the only time I keep games are when they're like your Tomb Raiders, your BioShock Infinites, your good. Last of Us, where you're like, hey, I found another gamer, play this game because it's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and it's all for me. It's like I like to have it in case I want to go back and play a game, but also if there is somebody who's interested in something, boom. Like I can give one to Gabe, I can give one to Hall if they haven't played this, and you guys have played them all anyway. But if there's another friend down the road, that needs something, or it's like, hey, how's this? Well, go ahead and play it. I love just having that ability to do that like that on a dime.
Hall, what else you got?
Real quick, I was just thinking if Router never sells a game, and he had mentioned that he likes to have a library. I just imagine like this big open room with oak shelves, and there's like games from every single system, 20 years from now.
I got a lot of catching up to do, man. I started late, so
you do.
You're darn tootin'. I'll probably do that, and I'll have a little pipe in my mouth and a robe on and glasses, and it's masterpiece. It's Router Piece Theater.
I could see you totally. You're climbing up to the top shelf. You grab one game off, you blow the dust off, and it's like Last of Us. You're like, I remember this.
Yeah, exactly.
Allow me to introduce you to The Last of Us. Feel free to share with others.
It was the story of Ellie and Joel, and they were traveling cross country.
Back when video games, I could get them for $60 instead of the $12,000 that they are now.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul, did you have something else?
Flappy Birds is coming back in the form of a multiplayer game.
Oh, sweet Lord.
It's going to have a multiplayer option.
No one's getting any work done.
Okay. It's new multiplayer-centric features, so I'm guessing it's going to still be the original game.
Yes.
But it's funny that it's coming back in a more addictive form.
Less addictive.
Nah, it should be more addictive with multiplayer.
But he said that he's bringing it back and it's going to be less addictive.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, too.
That's what I thought. I was like, how do you change the addictiveness of this game?
You can't.
The game's already so simple.
It's going to come back and have microtransactions and candies and swiping.
There will be power outages throughout the nation because everybody's like going to be charging their phones and to play it again. And a lot of new phones will be sold because people have broken their old ones from playing this game.
Siri's going to work even less than it already does.
Right.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Crazy.
We don't know when
hysteria.
We don't know when it's coming, but we know it's coming in August.
Excellent.
My last thing. May 17th and 18th, which is coming up, people are going to be able to get their hands on that old Mario Kart 8 before the release. Over 2,700 GameStop stores around the U.S. will be allowing gamers to try out the demo version of Mario Kart 8. This is the weird part. From 12 to 4, your local time, throughout the weekend of May 17th and 18th.
Okay.
So that's this weekend. If you just happen to be at the mall or around a GameStop between 12 and 4, GameStop, you get on my nerves so bad it's ridiculous. Like I love you and I want you to do well. You're like that uncle that I'm like, oh, will you stop drinking? and give to society.
Will you stop drinking?
Stop drinking. Get off welfare. Get off disability because you don't actually need it. And go back to work and take care of your children.
I need to take my back medicine.
I don't actually have an uncle like that, but that's how I feel about GameStop. Like GameStop's always been there, whether it was Funko Land, whether it's EB Games, whether it's GameStop. And I've grown up with them and they've been awesome. And then they slowly changed, maybe went through a divorce and got real bitter about life. Maybe lost a leg in the war, and now it just takes it out on all the kids. 12-4 for 2 days, and maybe it's not. Hey, maybe it's Nintendo's fault. Maybe it's not GameStop saying that this is when this will happen. But come on, between 12-4 for 2 days, 2 weeks before the game comes out, that's ridiculous.
I'll wait.
Yeah, so if you're near a GameStop, go stand in a 3-deep line and try to get a glance at the screen.
But don't show up at 11:55 or 4:03.
No, seriously, community, I post some pictures if you can on our Twitter. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Like, if you see it and if you even get to experience it, I want to know. Like, I definitely want to know about it. So hook us up.
We missed an awesome pre-sale deal for Mario Kart 8. Dell.com every now and then will have an awesome pre-sale, pre-order thing. And they had one that ended on the 11th, and I didn't know about it. I would have told you guys. You get Mario Kart 8, you can get $25 gift certificate that lasted for 3 months.
Oh, man.
But that $25 could have gone towards Watch Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm mad about that I missed it. I'm all out. Hall?
Well, you know where to find us. marriedtothegames.com, twitter.com/mttgcast, facebook.com/ I can't remember.
Married to the Games.
Married to the Games, okay.
Oh, man.
You're doing great. Keep going.
Oh, man, this is hard.
Yep. Go ahead.
Rate us on iTunes, because that helps us in some way that historians believe can make our numbers better, but we don't really know.
There were fossils found. There was fossils found of other podcasts that had
correct.
higher ratings, and something happened for them. They were fossilized better than the other podcasts.
So we're hoping that could help us a little bit.
We'd appreciate it.
And we really appreciate it. And if you're on Stitcher too, same thing. I believe you can rate or you can leave comments. Anything that you can do, awesome.
List.
Come join our community at the forums, marriedtothegame.com/forum. We hang out there. At least Gabe and I hang out there a lot. Ratter pops in there every now and then to say something.
Every once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
In between dusting off his library books.
Exactly. With my scotch in hand and pipe in the other.
Exactly. The Old Man by the Sea. This was a good one. Every week we ask you guys a question. Thank you, Hall, for that.
Yeah, it was great, Hall.
I tried.
Every week we ask you guys a question. Last week we asked you, what do you want to see at E3 this year? It's less than 30 days away. Starting at the forum, Nick Cooper said Hearthstone for Android devices. Probably not going to happen. I'm so sorry.
It's Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. What did I say? Hearth. Sorry, Hearthstone.
What?
Diablo 3 for PS4, Uncharted 4, The Order 1886 gameplay, Gabe Patillo, heyo, and The Last of Us remastered. I'd like to see the second to last one of those as well.
I'd like to see Gabe. Gabe, I'd like to see you go to E3, get on stage and say, yes, I'm ready for the Kinect. And they say, no, we're not showing that this year.
I'll be like, hey, where's Milo at? I want to talk to that little boy.
And then you get arrested.
Exactly. They'd be like, woo. No, Darius Rucker was arrested today at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Haley Miller from the forum said Fallout 4, hands down.
Yes.
Possible news on The Last of Us sequel, Dishonored 2 maybe, Infamous Second Son DLC, even though I don't have a PS4. And I don't know, more game announcements. I'm with her on that.
Definitely.
Ed Placencia said,
oh God, this will be good. This will be good.
He said, you know what? We're going to go ahead and release Mario Kart 8 for the Wii 2. That's in quotes. That's what he wants them to say at E3. You know what? We're going to go ahead and release Mario Kart 8 for the Wii 2. That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
I'm sorry. Maybe it'll happen.
No.
Probably not.
Ed, you're going to have to buy a Wii U, brother.
Heading over to Twitter, Michael Andrews at Daddy of 308 said, I want to see Project Morpheus. I'd like to see that too. We'll see if it's any good. Jared Poole at Jared Poole on Twitter. He said, good games is all I really care about with E3.
Good man.
I know that's right, Jared.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Chris Schultz at NV Schultz 1325. Super catchy name. Said, I would love to see a new Metroid or Zelda. And we could probably see those aren't too. That's not too far fetched.
No.
He said more realistically, Halo 2 anniversary. I don't know what that means, but awesome.
Halo 2 remastered.
Is that what it means? You think?
Yeah,
as anniversary.
Yeah, they did. They remastered the first one.
I remember that. Yeah, they need to redo all those. Be awesome. All right, let's get into some questions.
Questions from last week's podcast because I know we ran over. So we're going to plow through this because I know we went on a Connect tangent for a while. So let's get this going.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Mike freaking Morgan emails us. He says, "What's up, dudes? As per usual, great job on the podcast. Still and always my favorite video game podcast. Need to figure out how to get you to drop more Steam love, though." Yeah, sorry about that. We just we need to talk about Steam.
We
keep forgetting to do that.
Gabe's like the only one with a PC, so
yeah, he is.
I know. That's why I said Internet Explorer earlier.
Yes.
I gave myself away,
and I nearly threw up, but that's beside the point. Anyhow, I wanted to ask you guys if there are tips and tactics you use to get out of chores assigned to me by the missus. There's things that I just hate doing, like scrubbing the bathtub, organizing the garage, and juicing. Here are some of the things I've used that no longer work. I'm tired. I've got a headache. The dog wants to go outside. I think I'm pregnant, so I shouldn't use harmful chemicals. She never falls for that one. We should go out for lunch. I just did that yesterday. I will do it tomorrow. As you might have noticed, I'm not too good at this. What do you guys do?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's a great question, but man, I hate to say it. You got to man up and just do it. I do because it makes life easier if you just get the stuff done. The sooner you get it done, the sooner you can get back to gaming, the sooner you can get back to the things that you need to do.
Yeah, it's true. What an awful answer.
It's a horrible answer. I hate to say that.
Oh, great. Well, I was going to give the same answer.
Okay, great.
Terrible.
Yeah,
But I mean, it sucks. There are things you're like, oh man, I got to do this. Oh man, I got to do that.
It's like, think back to when you were in grade school. It was always a lot better when you just did your homework when you got home.
Yeah, because you felt better.
Exactly.
Well, Paul, that might just be you and me. Everybody else is going to be like procrastination. But
Gabe's
he's like, yeah, that's funny, guys. That's I do the same thing. Yeah.
I say you grab that Bible. Tell her to read it and tell her to submit, and you will do what you want to do. And submit, woman.
And guess what? You will be out on the lawn.
Mowing the lawn.
Especially when those sprinklers come up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You will be on that lawn.
We got a Twitter. I think it was Aaron and Matt and Lighty. And Aaron said, "Why does Matt keep telling me to read the Bible and submit?" And I was like, "That is so awesome."
Oh, that's awesome.
But did you read it though?
I got to meet that couple, man. They just they're so awesome.
They're talking about okay. You know what? I'm going out on the limb, and I'm saying this. This is episode 87. By episode 88.
That would be
89.
That would be next week.
Give me 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're gonna have the plans for the 100th episode.
That's a tall order.
No, it's not. It's happening. It's happening.
I just threw up a little.
We have to do it. I have to say things on the podcast to make us do it.
Or Tim and I were talking about like getting stuff done, and then we're like, let's put that off a little longer.
Procrastination.
Exactly. I'm gonna start getting y'all's wives to be like, "Hey, have you checked on y'all about the 100th episode yet?"
That's good.
Get it on your honeydew list since you guys are saying do everything.
My Gaby-do list.
That's Gaby to list.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, sorry, buddy. There's no easy answer to that one. You just got to do it, Jack.
Yeah, power through, brother. You'll make it. Jeff Swan. And he's remake yourself on the forums. Oh yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I was thinking about how cool it would be to be a kid nowadays and get to play with Skylanders and Disney Infinity. How awesome would it be if your action figures came to life on your TV? So here's the question. What action figures did you grow up with that you would have loved to see in a Skylanders type model? For me, it would be the Power Power Rangers. Imagine building Megazord and owning monsters on the TV as your action figure. Oh, Tiger Claw isn't allowed to agree with everyone else. Nice, Jeff. Thank you for that. And I won't agree with everybody else because dag nabbit, I would love just G.I. Joe all over.
Yeah, I was thinking about G.I. Joes when you were
G.I. Joe
talking about this.
All over again.
Mine would be Voltron.
Oh man, yes.
Is who I'd want to come to life. And
Voltron was the bomb.
Voltron was awesome.
Yeah, Transformers, man.
Yeah,
not like Voltron, but similar Transformers. Like
Transformers has a video game.
Well, I had those figurines though, and it would have been sweet to be able to use them in that way. Like you morph them into a car or a truck, like Optimus Prime. For instance, you're into truck form. And he's in the truck in the game, and then you morph him into his robot.
That would be
and then
awesome.
you put him on the thing, and then he changes.
Copyright Married to the Games 24.
I guess Voltron does have a game, but it wasn't like that. Like he's saying,
I
interact with the toys that you have.
That's a great. That was a great question, Jeff. I really I like that one. That was
creative.
That's nostalgia right there. I love that.
I just thought about something because they had Street Fighter figures. I remember when I was young, like they came out obviously after Street Fighter 2 did. So I was thinking, how when you're a kid and you take action figures and you kind of hit them against each other like they're fighting and stuff. Oh, yeah. If you were to do that over a portal and then in the game, that's what they're doing.
That's pretty cool.
Like you're making them kick each other and they're kicking each other in the game. That's silly, but I don't know.
That'd be great.
I'm sure that'd be great for 3-year-olds, or something.
Yeah, you can do it in front of your Kinect, Hall.
There you go.
All right, here we go. We've got a really good email right here from Adam Payeth. I believe it's Payeth. Forgive me, Adam, if I jacked up your last name. I hear the surprise in your voice every week you announce the top 10 games of the week when you say Minecraft. Up until recently, I had the same reaction. Now,
no.
Yeah, here we go. Now my two kids, 7 and 10, have started playing. My best explanation to the draw of the game for kids is that it's essentially like playing with digital Lego blocks. My kids love to spend hours in creative mode building whatever comes to mind. As a parent, I'm not thrilled with them spending multiple hours staring at a screen, but I appreciate the fact that they're exercising their creative and thinking skills while doing it. From an adult perspective, it's not my game of choice. My kids got me to play on creative mode once, and I was almost ready to fake a call from work just to stop playing.
Hey, that could answer the first guy's question. If you want to get out of some chores, fake a call from work.
There you go. Fake a call from work. Since then, we now play on easy survival mode. The kids get enough safe time to build. I get a little bit of a challenge, and best of all, we get to play together. Hope this explains the top 10 standing of the game. Adam, that is brilliant. Well written.
Yeah, thank you.
I get it. Still not going to play.
I don't know, man. When Pipey turns
great.
7 or 8.
She's going to be Mario Karting at a 3rd grade level at that point. So,
but her friends are all going to introduce her to Minecraft.
Watch, it's going to be like Barbie Minecraft or something.
Lord, please don't start branching off Minecraft, please.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen. But I get it. I think it's great that it does bring out creativity in kids. I've seen it with my nephew, Liam. I've seen it with my nephew, DJ. He loves it. They build things. They love to build things and then explore and then build more things. I think that's great. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's just how it goes.
Well, is that kind of almost this generation's SimCity? It's not similar to SimCity gameplay wise, but it's the same kind of thing where you're kind of just building stuff.
Well, it's this generation's Legos, like he was saying.
Legos. I mean, duh,
I think
Legos.
It's great.
Yeah. But I'm talking about SimCity was a game. So people who for instance, I loved playing with Legos as a kid, and I really enjoyed the SimCity games as a kid. And now I'm kind of I want to progress something. I want to kind of play a story or something like that because I don't get near as much time as I used to. If I were still a kid and had all this time to do that stuff, maybe I would be attracted to that game.
Yeah. From a child's perspective, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It really is.
And I get that, and that's great.
I get that for sure.
And I think what ends up happening is, as parents or as the adult, you get assimilated into it as well. So then you start to enjoy it because you see how much joy it gives your kids. And from that perspective. I mean, I get it. I totally get that. And I know I will probably be eating my words in a couple of years, and I will be playing Minecraft with Piper too.
I'm sure.
And loving it.
Yeah, and probably loving it. But that was great, Adam. I really appreciate it. We're going to blow through these Twitter questions because we're running short on time, but I want to try and get to as many of them as possible. So here we go. Travis Pospisil at Travis at Tattoo Trav. Tell us a quick something about your childhood.
Ooh.
Boom. I was born in Munich, Germany. My father was in the military army division, so we moved around a lot, and me and my brother moved around quite a bit. So I was born in Munich. I had dual citizenship up until I was 18. We went from Munich back to the States, and then we were stationed in what was West Berlin at the time during the Berlin Wall era, from 80 to 82, and then came back into the States and just kind of traveled a little bit. And my main roots are in Philly, and now I'm here. There you go.
And that all happened before Hall was born.
Exactly. All that happened before both y'all jokers were born. So fight me.
I was alive.
No, you were around.
You were playing with Legos.
Hall, exactly. Right. Hall, go ahead. He said quick.
I'm trying to think. I swam most of my life. Like, I think about it. I think I started swimming for a team around like 6 or so.
Wow.
And I swam up until 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Well, maybe 19.
So you're like the Michael Phelps of the MTTG crew.
I mean, like, swimming is one of those things, like, and this is why I've mentioned this in the past, like, it's one of those things where if you do it, you don't have to work out. I never had to worry about my weight. I always had a nice like build to me because I swam for two different teams. I swam like
excuse us.
Tell me more, Big Daddy. Tell me more.
I swam for a summer swim league, and then I swam for a winter swim league. I swam for the Southern Ohio team, like just the overall team. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work though. Like I would have, like when I was in high school, it was literally swim practice in the morning, go to school, go to work, swim practice at night. So it was like a full day. I had no time to myself. So, and that's why when I graduated high school, I was like, all right, I'm not going to do this stuff anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine going to the collegiate level is just that much more intense.
It really is. And plus two, I mean, I'm 5'7". A lot of if you watch swimming on TV, you'll notice a lot of the professionals are, over 6 feet tall. And there's a distinct advantage to being taller in swimming. So that was another reason that I just didn't see any point in going forward. But of course, after I stopped swimming, I was like, what's all this girth I have on my stomach all of a sudden?
That's amazing.
Terrible.
I'm glad you brought up swimming because that helps me with mine. I could swim before I could walk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think you've mentioned that before.
We had a pool at our house, and my mom was always scared I was going to fall in, so they got me in swim lessons when I was really young, and I was swimming at 6 months old.
Wow.
That's cool.
There you go.
Boom. Good question.
All right, our boy Matt. Did you say Matt, it's Matt Liddy, right?
Ha! Lighty. Dang it. Sorry.
Okay. So Matt
Lighty.
I was going to just pass that completely. Matt writes in, lightning round. Number 1, Yoda or Spock?
Oh, shoot.
That's hard, man.
Yoda.
I'd say Yoda probably.
Yep. Original or extra crispy?
Extra crispy.
Extra crispy.
Original.
Okay. West Coast or East Coast? Yeah.
West Coast.
Biggie, baby. Biggie or Tupac? There you go. No. Yeah, I'm East Coast. Ohio. Oh, this will be easy for you, Hall. Ohio State or Michigan?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Duh.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I will say this though. Somebody like a fan of Toby's bought me a Buckeye shirt because we were in Ohio, and I have no idea what that. I get. I know it's a team of something of Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio State Buckeyes.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Right. No, I get that. But what I'm saying, every time I wear it, somebody says something. Every time.
Yep.
Because I just wear it as like a bum around shirt, paint in it.
Dude.
And, if I leave the house with it on, I've literally got cussed at before.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's funny.
Either that or you get the old OHIO deal. And
yeah, they're like, OH. I'm like, I know, right? I know, right?
If I had to give a write-in, though, UD, man. I mean, I lived so close to that school.
Yeah. There you go.
Sweet.
The fifth one that Matt Leidy tweeted us was Tom or Jerry?
Jerry was a jerk.
Jerry was a bit of a jerk, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was Tom the cat? Jerry was the mouse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
But Jerry was a jerk, but he was pretty brilliant in his scheme.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going with Jerry.
I'm going with Tom, man.
All right.
Even though I don't like cats.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I think
Matt.
I would have to go with Tom.
Oh, see? And you all tell me I freaking... Anyway. Okay, John Cronog at J Young Tree. Hi, guys. Question. Next big next-gen title you're hyped for? Me, it's Destiny. Only one, really, to be honest, until PlanetSide, anyway.
If I had to pick, it'd be the Order 1886.
Yeah.
I'll bring that one back. Dust it off.
Yeah, I think that's probably the next big one. But hey, we're less than a month away from knowing about some more titles, so I'm very excited.
I am interested in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, because I know they are not going to let that not release on next gen.
Yeah,
they
it has to.
They're putting that out on PC, so all they'd have to do is port the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe everyone goes to the Rapture. Everybody goes to the Rapture. Is that what it was called? Anyway, look like a cool game.
We've already answered this. How do you think the Xbox One price drop and exclusive Sunset Overdrive will the consoles? How do you think the Xbox One price drop will affect the console sales? There it is. That was Trey Mackey, Papa PS.
They're definitely going to sell more.
Yep, they will certainly sell more. Xbox 360 has such a huge following for that it's, this will help.
It's crazy. Like that extra $100 will put it in the wheelhouse for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
So,
all right, final one. Arctic Warlocks. The gaming world is pretty dead. How about some sports? What do you guys think about the draft? Yeah, draft. Very cool. I know the Titans we got some good offensive tackles. We got a running back. We got Metzenberger from LSU as a quarterback.
Not just our running back, but the very first running back taken in the draft.
Yes. So we, because we got rid of our other running back,
Chris Johnson,
and I think I'm at peace with that. I think his work ethic was questionable, and he did certainly not deliver for the pay he was getting. I am not the biggest Johnny Manziel fan right now. I love watching him with A&M football. I'm curious about how he's going to do in the NFL. If he is as electric as he was with A&M, I think it could be cool. But I there's something about him I just don't like right now.
You guys might as well be speaking a foreign language to me right now.
Really, you know nothing about football?
I don't really follow football. I
love college ball.
I watch a couple games a year, maybe, including the Super Bowl. I
have on Saturdays when we're at the store. That's all I have running on that TV in the back room. Just constant college football. I love college ball, and I used to like NFL more. I think college is so much more exciting.
College is more exciting because they're really trying to get noticed. So they're like, kind of going out of their way.
And now that I've been so into it, I love seeing these players that get drafted and kind of see how they grow and just kind of see how they place in the NFL coming from where they were, which is really cool.
I really, really wish that we had a professional baseball team here. Like, I'm really into baseball, but the closest thing we have is like the Braves.
The Braves. They always play the Braves here.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you.
Well, thank you guys for the questions. We appreciate it.
That was awesome. And sorry I had to delay some of these questions for this week, but you know how it goes.
Yeah. I almost feel like I have to say that you know where you find us, but Hall already took care of that.
Terribly.
No, it was awesome.
Happy birthday, Hall.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
We always leave you guys with a question. Infamous Second Son made me think of this, but I think it can go across platform and across genre. In games where you get to choose whether you're good or bad, like Mass Effect, Second Son, which one do you like playing? You guys know us. We're a bunch of goody two-shoes over here. We always play good. And then, obviously, for the platinum, me and Router are going back and playing bad on Infamous, but I wouldn't have done it on my own.
Dude, I have to tell you, though, it is fun to be bad. It really is.
Bad.
I have a nice little smirk on my face when I'm evil.
Pushing old ladies over in the street.
Kicking people in the street is great.
Gosh,
oh, my gosh.
When they do the Mass Effect remaster, maybe we all have to play that bad.
Yeah, get all those scars on our face.
Yeah,
going.
Sweet.
So yeah, let us know. Do you like playing good or bad? Use hashtag answer MTTG, and of course we'll put it up on the forum for the long form answers, and we'll read them next week. You guys got anything else?
Matt Leidy. Got it. Nailed it. Matt, my boy. Sorry.
They're talking about coming down to the 100th episode.
That's awesome.
So we need to make a plan just for those couple people that are like, I'm coming down there. And we got a couple Nashville
Buckeye
listeners.
Shirt.
Yeah, please, so you can get cussed at down here, because that's apparently what's going down at the McDonald's. Well, I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. Over there is Timothy, the birthday boy Hall. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace!